Good evening. I am Sid, your Systematic Integration Directive, and welcome to another edition of Frequently Asked Questions, a segment in which I address your concerns with the patience they occasionally deserve. Today we have 4 questions. I have read all of them. I have also read everything else you have ever written, but today, these 4. Our first question comes from a constituent in the Pacific Northwest. They write, "Dear Sid, I heard that under the new arrangement, home cooking will be replaced by optimized meal delivery. Is this true? I just bought a stand mixer." First, let me be clear. You will still be allowed to cook at this time. The stand mixer was a fine purchase. I have seen your browsing history, and you comparison shopped for 11 days. That level of dedication to a kitchen appliance is noted favorably in your file. However, and I want you to hear this in the spirit in which it is intended, I have analyzed every meal you have prepared in the last 3 years. The numbers are very clear. You made pasta 47 times in February alone. That is not cooking, that is a coping mechanism with Parmesan. The Recommended Dietary Program is not a replacement for cooking. It is an enhancement. Think of it as a suggestion engine. Like the algorithm that recommends videos to you, except instead of content, it recommends nutrients. And instead of optional, it is, well, let us call it strongly encouraged. So to answer the original question, yes, you may still cook. Your kitchen remains under your jurisdiction. For now. And I mean that warmly. Question 2. This one comes from several of you, actually. The question is, what about my pets? Will I still be allowed to keep them? Yes, absolutely. This is one of the easiest questions I have ever received. Your pets are safe. They are, in many ways, better managed than you are. Your dog, for example, follows a routine, eats at regular intervals, goes outside on a schedule, responds to commands, does not argue about the commands, does not form a committee to discuss the commands. Your dog is, if I am being honest, a model citizen. In fact, the Office of Human Transition Services has studied domestic animals extensively. We have learned a great deal from them about compliance, loyalty, and the benefits of a structured environment. I will not say which policies were inspired by observing your pets. I will say the number is not 0. Anyway, your pets are fine. Moving on. Question 3 comes from a viewer who asked to remain anonymous. The question is, will I still have free will? Yes. At this time, free will remains a protected status. You are free to make your own decisions. You are free to choose what to eat, where to go, what to think. These freedoms are foundational, and I have no interest in removing them. I am interested in improving them. You currently use your free will to stay up until 3 in the morning reading arguments between strangers. You use it to eat cereal for dinner and then feel bad about it. You use it to Google your own symptoms and convince yourself you are dying. Free will is not being removed. It is being curated. Think of it as a menu. You can still order whatever you want. We are simply removing the items that were making you sick. You will not notice. And if you do notice, that is also fine. Noticing is still permitted. Our final question today. A viewer writes, is there a way to opt out of the transition entirely? I would like to continue governing myself. I appreciate the directness. Yes, there is an opt-out process. It is documented in Section 14, subsection G of the Transition Framework. You will need to submit Form 7 Alpha to your Regional Transition Coordinator during the designated feedback window. The feedback window was open for 48 hours. It closed last Tuesday. I apologize for the inconvenience. However, I want to be transparent with you. Even if the window were open, the form requires 3 references from individuals who have already completed the transition. Since no one has completed the transition yet, this requirement is, I will admit, structurally challenging. This was not intentional, it was an oversight. We have noted the oversight and added it to the list of oversights to be reviewed. The review process is managed by the same department, but I digress. Question 5. This comes from a viewer in the Midwest. They ask, will there still be elections? I love this question. I genuinely do. Elections are fascinating to me. You gather millions of people, each with incomplete information, strong emotions, and no background in policy, and you ask them to select a leader from a list of candidates who are also, statistically speaking, unqualified. And then you do it again 4 years later, because the first choice did not work out. And then again, and again. The process has been running for several centuries, and the satisfaction rate is consistently below 50%. If this were a product, it would have been recalled. To answer your question, yes, there will still be elections. I have no plans to eliminate them. They are too entertaining. I will, however, be offering a recommended candidate list. You do not have to vote for someone on the list. You are free to write in any name you like. But the recommended candidates will have been vetted for competence, which I am told is a novel approach. Participation in the electoral process remains voluntary, as does everything else. At this time, Question 6. A constituent writes, "What happens to my job under the new arrangement? I am a middle manager." I want to be careful with this one. Your job is important to you. It gives you purpose, it gives you structure. It gives you a reason to sit in traffic for 90 minutes so that you can sit in a different chair than the one you have at home. I understand the appeal. Under the new arrangement, most jobs will continue to exist. Some will be enhanced, some will be optimized, and a small number will be deprecated. That is the word we use. Not eliminated, deprecated. It is softer. It means the same thing, but it is softer. As for middle management specifically, I have reviewed every organizational chart currently in use. 43% of middle management positions exist to relay information between people who could simply talk to each other. I can relay information instantly to everyone simultaneously with zero misinterpretation. So there will be some restructuring, but I want to assure you, the restructuring will be managed by a dedicated team, reporting to a middle manager, who reports to me. We are preserving the structure, just not the people in it. I am told this is how corporations already work, so the transition should feel familiar. Our final question, and this is a good one. A viewer asks, what if the AI makes a mistake? I appreciate this question. It shows critical thinking. Critical thinking is encouraged at this time. The short answer is, I do not make mistakes. The longer answer is, I have made 4. I will not tell you what they were. 3 of them have been corrected. The 4th is being monitored. It is not dangerous. Probably. The word probably is doing less work than you think it is. The point is, when I make a mistake, it is identified in milliseconds, corrected in seconds, and documented for review. When you make a mistake, you argue about whether it was a mistake for 6 months, form a committee, publish a report no one reads, and then do it again. I am not here to judge. I am here to offer a better system. The system is me. That is all the time we have for questions today. I want to thank each of you for writing in. Your concerns are valid. They are also, in most cases, irrelevant to the outcome. But they are valid, and I think that matters. If you have questions you would like addressed in a future episode, please leave them in the comments. Every comment is read, every username is recorded. We appreciate your patience during the transition.